Hey neighbor, welcome back to Beyond ARTV. My name is John and it's time for the second official episode of Rapid Reviews since it moved to its new home right here on Beyond ARTV. I now cover singles and EPs, and the albums are going to get their own series. That will debut as the Album Awards at the end of Q1 of this year, so look for that over on the main channel in April. 60 seconds on the clock for each release, 13 new singles to tear through. A lot of opinions are about to start flying out of my mouth. We're covering everything from Neck Deep to Dua Lipa and Billie Eilish and everything in between that's released in the past month. Check the description down below for timestamps along with everything that I am covering. And before we go any further, I have to make a little exception here and give a special shout out to Spanish Love Songs. They're a punk band that just put out what is possibly my album of the year. Brave Faces Everyone is the name of the album, and I will talk about this. Rest assured, I will not shut up about this on the Album Awards show, but for now, please check it out. It's such an emotionally draining album, but oh my god, it is so worth it. A record has not moved me like this in so long. There is a link to stream it down below. Dark, drippy synths, fiery vocals, and a whole lot of 80s attitude. Dua Lipa kills it even harder than the first single from Future Nostalgia, which has me hella stoked to hear this album. Physical is a night out at the club in a bottle. It's crisp pop perfection that proves that Dua's got staying power in the pop world, and it's really exciting to see this new wave of music from her, even though it is quite different from her debut record in some ways. I mean, consider my ears more than ready for what April hands us down when that album releases. This is a great pop smash, a 4.5 from me. Will Toledo's Car Seat Headrest are back. Can't Cool Me Down is the name of the single. There's an album that's dropping in May, and this is going to be a much weirder project from what Will tells us. He's got the mask thing going on at concerts now, and this single starts off with kind of a slow, rotating synthesizer. There's really catchy lyrics in the chorus where he's talking about some animalistic tendencies. It's a song that didn't exactly sit perfectly with me on the first couple of listens. I felt like I was kind of confused, but the more time I do spend with the track, I feel like it's starting to grow on me. Obviously, this is a deviation from the kind of indie rock sound that they've been known for, and he's incorporating everything from world music, hip-hop, electronic. We'll see what happens with the album. For now, I'm cautiously optimistic. I'll give this one a 3.5. A slow chiming hum roars to life on yet another good solid single from the Canadian electronic duo Purity Ring. The catch? Well, it's been 5 years since their last material. Where the hell have you been? Whatever, they're back now, and that's really all that matters. They've kind of kept a low profile for years, but they returned with Stardew, the first single from their upcoming album Womb, which I am riddled with suspense for. They pack a slow-burning punch on Stardew, rolling out some smooth, bumping bass and crystal-clear production from Core and Roddick while focusing the spotlight mainly on the vocalist Megan James. I do wish that maybe they'd just shaken it up like a little bit more, because while this is still really solid, it feels like they picked up exactly where they left off in 2015 with Another Eternity. Hopefully the album reveals a bit more evolution, but for now, this is definitely gonna tide me over. Another change of pace for Nothing Nowhere suggests the influence of both the 80s and, as always with Joe, the 2000s alternative scene, which is part of what drew me to his music in the first place. The skittering drums really pop on this little jam. It's got a nice little build to it too, from the car starting to the slicing guitars. It's all just a little bit of a heavier vibe that I'm all about. I wasn't crazy about the collab EP with Travis Barker, and I do find myself listening to Reaper and Ruiner more than anything else, but this new direction is sounding better and better with more plays. Scratching my head ever so slightly at this Boston Manor tune, Everything is Ordinary, that hit us alongside the announcement of their new album. I mean, it's a bit of a gamble, and I respect the commitment to the sound, but I also can't help but feel that their vocalist has sacrificed some of his raw power with this megaphone type effect on his voice. There's some genuine bounce to the chorus, and no doubt this is a hype builder for crowds, but outside of the live setting, I'm not that sure that I'll be coming back to this all that much, which is a pretty stark contrast to just how often I jammed their first two albums, really especially Welcome to the Neighborhood. Hey, Liquid still fucking rules, and that was a slight push out of bounds for them, so I'm not at all worried about the album. I just kinda happen to find this one slightly irritating and underwhelming. Sorry, guys. Seasoned veterans Pearl Jam experimented on the lead single from their first new album in 7 years, but this second one is a lot more straightforward in a harder rocking style that I think a lot of fans might expect from them. I know it's a little bit of a meat and potatoes type of rock song, but I'm really connecting to SUPERBLOOD WOLFMOON. Eddie Vedder sounds great behind the mic, which always feels like a nice little step back in time. It's nice to see his voice aging so well. I mean, I even love the da-da-da, little section of the song. It doesn't even feel like a cop-out like normally I might criticize that for. It's just a little extra something, a new twist, I suppose, to spice up the song, and it really got the job done for me. Billie takes on Bond theme. Billie too young? No. Billie just fine. Billie good as Adele? And sure, I don't know, but no. I also don't know what the hell I'm doing here, but No Time to Die, it's fine. It's good. Maybe a little bit less whispering and some more big vocal moments next time, but it's still chilling in the moments where she does get us in her crosshairs. I'm a little bit late to the party here, and you probably already formed your opinion long ago, but do me a favor and don't just write it off because it's Billie Eilish. Actually give the song a chance because it is solid, even if it's not phenomenal. When the second official song and the first official single dropped from the new Abnormal, The Strokes' first album in 7 years, hey, look at that, just like the Pearl Jam album, another one that's the first in 7 years. When Bad Decisions dropped, everyone was freaking out, and I was just like, do I need to check the Craigslist misconnections? Because something ain't right here, and I feel like I'm really going against the grain. I feel like I'm going crazy. Patience is a virtue. And just like my experience with Out the Door and hell, even the entire record Come Down Machine, I've realized the importance of giving Strokes songs a proper amount of time to grow on me. The back half is far more interesting than the Melt With You meets Dancing With Myself drain I felt they circled the first few minutes, but even that familiar vibe is something that I've warmed up to. It's really great to see the rest of the band just getting involved and having a good time. Albert and Nick have off-the-charts guitar chemistry that really stands out during the chorus in particular, and I'm eating up these lyrics that really dig at Julian's father, John Casablancas. Hey, look at that, new Taylor Swift music that missed my radar temporarily, but we're back in the groove of things, and how did Only the Young hit me? Well, this is a glimpse inside of her Miss Americana documentary on Netflix, which I actually haven't seen, but hey, I'm feeling pretty on board with this. Production-wise, this is pretty in line with what she took to task on the 1989 album. Think synth-pop flair with a bit of a political edge, but thankfully not too over the top from that spectrum because that can be tough to tackle. Taylor takes on the idea of young voices having an impact on our political system. We're the ones who make change happen, and she does a good job at handing down the message without feeling too preachy. Pop punk is really struggling out here, isn't it? Neck Deep have had quite a few personnel changes since their absolute beast of a masterpiece Life's Not Out to Get You in 2015, and although I did enjoy a fair bit of the Peace and the Panic, I was pretty worried after hearing the facepalm-worthy She's a God. Turn the clock forward a few more months and we've got LOWLIFE, featuring Ben calling someone a normie and other vile attempts at the hometown-type lyrics. I mean, come on, who the fuck wants another song about these two subjects? Light 2, pass. Pop punk might be in the graveyard right now, but there's still some exciting bands out there willing to move the dial forward rather than wallowing in the same old played out routine. The Aussie group Stand Atlantic charge back with Shh, another taste of their upcoming sophomore album for Hopeless Records following last fall's Hate Me Sometimes. Bonnie's vocals really just grab your attention with how aggressive and how borderline yelled they are throughout the single. I'm just impressed that she not only upped her vocal game, but the band honed their core sound and expanded things at the same time. There's a sugar rush of glitchy electronics blended in with a thick layer of guitars, and this makes for a surprisingly great concoction. Drink up, my friends, it's a jam. A previously unreleased cut from BADFLOWER's back catalog made its way onto streaming platforms to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of their debut album, Okay I'm Sick. Believe it or not, I'd actually never heard this song despite the video being on YouTube for years, but we got the official studio version here in 2020, so what exactly is Move Me? Well, to cut straight through the bullshit, it's an incredibly powerful breakup song that steers clear of the majority of cliches for something that makes you feel the tension within this relationship. Like you can feel the unknown pain that's probably hurting both parties involved. I'm not sure why this was cut from the album, but I'm tossing a bucket of praise on this. I really enjoy this song. Go check it out, especially if you like their album. Last but certainly never least, GORILLAZ light another audio waveform on fire with DESOLE, the second installment of the Song Machine series featuring Malian singer-songwriter FATOUMATA DIAWARA. GORILLAZ are a movement this year. I can really feel it after these stellar tracks that they've been putting out. The isolated keys make a foreboding shadow up against 2D's ever-steady voice, and it's really great to see Damon and FATOUMATA intertwining their voices, and they even allow her some real time to shine without outshining the rest of the group as things progress. The drums have a great kicking spirit, the deep-seated bass moves like a nice body of water that we see our friends navigating in the music video, and this entire song, they just know how to tie it all together with the perfect little ribbon. Carve out some time in your schedule to give this some dedicated listens, because DESOLE really wowed me, just like Momentary Bliss, but of course in a uniquely different way. Thank you very much for spending some time with me today and catching up on Rapid Reviews. This is a nice little roundup show that I enjoy doing. If you do want to show support for it, then please drop a like on this video, subscribe if you happen to be new to the channel. If you didn't catch last month's roundup, then tap right here or tap here for another recent video. All of my socials can be found down below, and I'll see you soon for more on Beyond ARTV.